Hi guys, welcome to my second video. My name is Schreeuwer. I'm a chiropractor from Sydney, Australia. If you haven't met me before, welcome. Now today I wanted to talk about something very interesting. I won't take up too much of your time because this is a complicated, quite an in-depth concept. But what I wanted to talk to you about today is a concept called the three-brain model. Now most of you might be sitting there going, 3 brains? I don't have 3 brains. Man, some guys might have 2 brains, but 3 brains, I mean, come on. Now the 3-brain model is an interesting one because our brain actually is divided into 3 separate areas, which again has a whole bunch of subdivisions. But what I wanted to do is actually discuss those quickly, outline them, give you an idea of what they're about, and what they do. So you have a little bit of background information in your nervous system, so you know how it functions. So we'll start with the first part of your brain, which is right at the base of the skull and going down into the spinal cord, and that is called your brain stem and your unconscious brain, or the reptilian brain. Okay? Now that part of your brain is very, very, very important. Not necessarily the most important, but definitely very, very important. So that primarily involves something called the autonomic nervous system, which has a lot to do with your automated functions, so such as your breathing, your heart rate, your digestion, blinking of your eyes, your fight-flight response, your survival instincts, such as your fight-flight response, and so on. Then we've got a second part of your brain, which is called the subconscious, or what we refer to as the mammalian brain. Now all mammals in the world have this brain, and it's right in the center, and it controls a lot of things, a hell of a lot of things actually. So some of those would be your memory, short-term and long-term, your ideas about sexuality and religion, your perceptions, your emotions definitely. There's a lot of dreaming that happens within the subconscious. Very, very, very important. And above all, it controls about actually it doesn't control, it filters in about 100 million bits of information per second. So what I mean by that is, basically I'll give you an example. Let's say you're watching my video right now, you're sitting in your chair at home in front of your desk, or lying on the couch, or lying in bed, or at your office watching it. And the whole time while you're watching my video, your body is filtering in so much information. So the information that I'm delivering you, but it's not just what you're hearing, it's what you're visualizing as well. So all these paintings behind me, my shirt, my face, any blemishes or marks I may have on my face, the way I move my hands, the pressure on your bum, on your seat, on your back if you're lying down, the heat, or heat in your room, the coolness in your room, the weather outside, if it's light, if it's dark, if it's day, if it's night, etc. Your body filters in all this information and it's stored in the subconscious brain for later use if need be. So that's basically where we store a lot of habits as well. So conditioned responses is what we call them, where your body repeats things over and over and over and over and over again, and they tend to be triggered by an event or something like that, and it actually brings out that memory or that information that was stored all the way back then when it first happened. So it's a very, very important part of your brain, because I'm going to be talking about that every so often when I start focusing on some health concerns, such as back pain, neck pain, headaches, digestive problems, and so on. Then the last part is what we call the conscious brain, or the neocortex, which is all those squiggly bits. So when you look at a brain, it's like the one that looks like the part of the brain that looks like worms squiggling all over the place. Now that part of your brain is also very, very important, but it only controls about 1% of your daily function, whereas the subconscious, for example, controls 99% of what you do, perceive, feel, react to, and so on. So it's only filtering in about 1,000 bits of information per second, so that's not a lot. So for an example of that would be you watching my video and only being able to focus on me and maybe 2 paintings behind me and the colour of my shirt, and maybe the light on the wall. That's about it. That's all your conscious brain can process and filter in at any given time. The subconscious takes in everything, okay? And the conscious brain also has a lot to do with your logic, has a lot to do with your mathematics, your speech, your language, how you understand things, that kind of thing. So that part of the brain is actually very important. It helps to piece everything together. It's the one that helps you in your maths exam, the one that helped you fail, the one that helped you succeed. It's the one that helps you understand what I'm saying. It's the one that helps you listen. It's the one that helps you visualize the things that you visualize. It's very, very important. So basically all I wanted to do is break down your brain into those three sections, so you have an idea, a foundational idea at least, of how your nervous system functions, so that when we get into other issues or other areas, you'll know exactly what I'm talking about when I'm talking about reflexes, when I'm talking about unconscious behaviors, subconscious behaviors, and conscious stuff, or even some of the subcategories that I kind of spoke about as well, just to give you an idea. So that's all I really wanted to talk to you about today, just to give you a foundation of where your body's at. And the more we keep going on, the more I'm going to focus on other areas as well. So I might do a little bit of foundational work on digestion, I might do a little bit of foundational work on your hormones and so on, if need be. But for the most part, all I really want you guys to be aware of is how your brain and nervous system function on a daily basis. So that ultimately, when you go on your personal health journey, whether it's seeing me in person as a practitioner, whether it's finding your own practitioner, going to your GP, doing your own self-development and personal development, that you know exactly what part of your body is working at any given time, so you can learn how to counteract it, so you can learn how to avert danger, so you can learn how to be able to break things down much more easily, and also learn what to filter in and filter out. So, with that, I'm going to leave you guys on the second video to ponder about all of this, and when I see you next time, we're going to focus on something a little bit more specific in terms of your health. So that could be a headache, it could be neck pain, it could be digestion, it could be weight loss, it could be financial gain, who knows? I'm going to leave you guys guessing, and I look forward to sharing with you some more knowledge, some more experience, and whatever I can to help you get to where you need to go in your lives. Best of luck. Keep up the good work. If you've already started focusing on your health, if you've already focused on yourself, if you're already focusing on your self-development, keep going. I'm behind you all the way. Again, if you have any questions, any concerns, my email address will be at the end of the video. Just email me and I'll get back to you as soon as possible. And last but not least, and I'll be saying this every time I post a video, anything that I say in this video, even though I am a professional, even though I do this on a daily basis in a clinic, that doesn't replace any personal professional care that you might need for any health concerns that you may have. So if there's anything that you're concerned about within your body, even psychologically, mentally, anything like that, my advice is not gospel. It doesn't apply to everybody. It applies to some people and not to others. If it's something that you can relate to though, what you could always do is find your own personal chiropractor, kinesiologist, GP, psychologist, anyone who can support you, that's close to you, that you can contact and speak to help you achieve your goals. So without further ado, I'll leave you for today. I'm Schreeuwer, and I will see you next time. Take care, guys.